Hi everyone, I'm Barefoot Em, because changed the name because I live my life now pretty much barefoot. Yeah, they need a bit of a clean, but I'm just generally around the house, and when I've been outside I'll give them a good wash before I come back in. Or I tend to live in my Vibrams when I feel like it, if I have to put shoes on. These are my first pair of sprints that I got 3 years ago, and I transitioned from these guys, MBTs, after being in the army and wearing that boots and stuff. Before that I used to wear some high heels, but I've always had issues with my posture because I've always been quite flexible, and in the army you push through and brute and great determination, and nobody showed me how to look after my body in the army, and actually we should learn it for ourselves, but it's good when you've got somebody else that's been through that stuff and can show you how to look after your body. So it wasn't until I got into Pilates 5 years ago that I learned to stretch, open up my body, got into my feelings, and then gradually we're doing all that. I was looking at more of my posture and what's better and what benefits me, and being barefoot is my choice, and I find it great, and I love being barefoot. And I get, where are your shoes gone? You should be wearing shoes. Oh, what about glass? What about this? Being barefoot, you watch where you walk. You learn, your feet become alive again, they get rejuvenated. My feet have become so strong. I can walk on my tiptoes now. It stands like that for ages, hours, without even getting any backache or footache. So actually playing the video and dancing and putting the kinky thigh high boots back on, which I haven't worn for years since the photo shoot. I couldn't walk in them. Now I can strut around in them because my feet and my legs and my whole posture's got this core strength to hold myself really, really easily without hurting. Although I still find I can lose my balance and really, really easily. But when I'm barefoot, nah, apart from when slipping, sliding around in mud. But then, your body kind of picks up the limits and you just stop yourself a lot quicker. So it gets its natural ability back, it gets in contact with nature, it gets that communication, it gets that biofeedback, which is just brilliant. And though, because I'm barefoot most of the time, I tend to wear short trousers, cropped trousers all the time, because if I'm out and about and it's wet and it's raining, I don't like getting soggy bottoms. And actually, over time, transition period of the cold winters, yes, I do put my Vibrams on when it's freezing and it's snowy, just because I slip more on the ice and the soles have got grip. And okay, I'm fully adjusted all the way then, but if it's freezing and it's raining and it's wet, I won't wear them. I prefer to be barefoot because my feet can dry quicker. I used to struggle with my feet being numb and chilblains all the time, and I was wearing army boots, proper army boots, pro boots, and para boots, and yeah, thick socks, and they'd be numb, no circulation, and it would hurt. Now, when it goes cold, the feet go numb. I can feel sensations, I can feel what I'm walking across, but I can also know I've still got blood flowing because my feet come back alive again really, really easy, and they're not gone totally dead without blood flow, because by walking on them you're still keeping the blood flow going. Yeah, so I just thought I'd make a bit of a movement, a bit of introduction. And me, after being in the army, I came out with big, well, there weren't obvious injuries. I took on my stomach muscles, too many sit-ups, they just ripped my stomach one day, that killed. I had knee problems you couldn't see, but I used to wake up with serious shooting pains, and that's from posture and being too flexible and stretching. I found when I got to Pilates studio in Derby with Louise, she taught me how to stretch, and that was great. Somebody could challenge my body and to work in the correct alignment posture. What a benefit. Same with yoga, having a good yoga teacher, and I love Ashtanga yoga, power yoga, but it's what keeps my body toned and fit, and I love it. And going into the breath work with it, getting back into my body and feeling and connected with my emotions and feelings. And yeah, I've got AJ and Mary to thank with actually being able to process that more deeply than ever before. Go to thedivinetruth.com, click on Wizard Shack channel on YouTube, go and check their videos out, and I find that stuff is just helping me get connected back into my body, back into my feelings, back into my emotions. And before that, I came across a year and a half ago, transformational breathing, and that also is brilliant. The connected breath, which is what I now share, is the connected breath where we breathe with no pauses. Yeah, and we just breathe in and out like we're born to breathe, with no pausing. We're born to feel our emotions, but we all learn to not feel and push things aside, and the same with our breath. We learn to stuff things down and hold our breath. And we're really good at holding our breath, and we not realise we're holding it. When we try to hold a breath, nah, it doesn't happen. But with the connected breathing, on top of doing yoga, Pilates, and now going back to raw, full raw. I went raw about 5 years ago. Did it, meat, hated it. I was like, no, not touching that, that's horrible, that's bad. This, that and the other. I did quite a few greens, as in marine phytoplankton, which is great if you need it, it really helps you out. And yeah, and then I went into juicing every day, and I still juice. I do a green juice because it's the best way for me to get my greens into my system, what works for my body. And over the years I've had more cooked food, less cooked food, a bit of meat back in my diet. Now, kicking that again, going totally raw, not eating a lot, drinking at least 3 litres of water a day. I don't need to eat a lot. My body doesn't need that much to eat, but I'm eating fresh veg and fruit. That's right. It's got to be right. Big thing I'm learning. Yeah, it's better for your body if it's right. Nuts, seeds, and yeah, the water is key. Even on my green juice, I have about a litre of green juice, roughly, most mornings, or beetroot juice. And then on top of that, 3 litres, which is a lot of liquid, but the body's better. It's detoxing, it's getting rid of the toxins that I've had stored in the body for years, which is great. And yeah, it actually helps with feeling the emotions and getting in contact with the emotions as well, for me. And opening up to your intuition. And this is my life. I just am living my desires and passions, being barefoot, being raw food vegan, and kind of, yeah, I'm working with the body and working with the breath, because they all come together to make more of a complete me. I'm finding myself, I'm finding what's real for me, what works for me. So I'm just sharing this with you guys to just say, you've got to find what works for you, but sometimes if you're struggling with something, you've got to go into the feelings of what's going on. And yeah, I'm still struggling because I live at home with my parents and brother, and yeah, they're still eating cooked food and meats and stuff, and sometimes the smell is like, but then it's like, so why? I know that's no good for my body. What is that about that I'm thinking that's really good? So yeah, I'll go with then go into what that is about for me. Feeling it, not logic. You can take yourself round in circles with logic and intellect. It's about actually really feeling it where it is in your body and opening up and breathing with it. And yeah, and then eventually you get to the truth of what that is really about. And I've come along, and now I share the breath work and working with the posture with a class in my local village, and they're all benefiting from it, and they absolutely love it. And I just take them through, and most of them are over 60s or in their 80s, and they're like, oh, I wish somebody told us how to do this earlier, because they're starting to be able to get their life back. They're starting to be able to move and enjoy and not be so scared of falling and hurting themselves. So everything I've done of healing myself through Pilates, yoga, raw foods and breath work is just so amazing. But the key is to really keep it simple for yourself and work through what works for you. And for me, I'm finding that I'm coming away from supplementing my diet with supplements. Okay, when my diet wasn't so great and not so clean, and I had to get over the issues with dairy products, gluten products, still can't touch them. Still no good for my body. You should listen to your body. It's telling you something. And if you crave it, go into the feelings, what those emotions are about. There is so many different levels, but yeah, you've got to find your own way. But for me, breath work, body movement through Pilates and the postural movement, yoga, breathing, transformational breath work, connected breathing. Any breath work's great. There's all sorts of different breath works. I do breath work in Pilates, and there's yogic breathing. They all work together. Eating raw foods, simple raw foods. You don't need to make it complicated. You don't need to create all these recipes and different. You can just go and grab yourself fruit and eat it. You can just go and grab yourself some veg and eat it. And just make it simple for yourself. And if you need certain, I'm on superfoods at the moment because dandelion greens and goosegrass is a superfood and nettles is a superfood, but if you need like maca, mesquite, algae, go do it, go try it, see what works for you. But sometimes it's great if your body's been in a toxic place and you need to heal, it helps you to heal, but the quickest way to healing is dealing with your emotions at the same time. And then you find you don't necessarily need all these different superfood supplements. And you won't need to eat as much. When I started this journey, I did eat a lot. Now I don't eat that much at all. And I've got plenty of energy. Water is a big key. With my water, I love my Himalayan pink salt. Just a bit. Just a sprinkle. I just kind of stick it in my mouth and spread it around with water. I find that is really beneficial. So, yeah, that's just a bit about me and where I am, where I've come from, and there should be more to come. I'm Barefoot Em, or Emily. And check me out on Facebook, and just have a good time and keep it so simple.